Hi, these comments are for AA, and I am Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and you're taking advantage of my free TOEFL Speaking Evaluation service. And I'm getting ready to listen to your response. I have the ETS official IBT Independent Speaking rubrics in front of me, and I'm getting ready to listen to your practice test. So the question is, do you like to study in a group or do you prefer to study alone, and why? Give specific reasons and examples to support your point of view. Now the way I like to do this, I'm going to listen to your response once without making any comments at all. The second time I listen to it, I will give you comments as I go through the response. I'll give you my impression of your TOEFL level.
I prefer to study alone than in a group while preparing for an exam. I can explain this with two reasons. Firstly, studying alone will save time from small talks which usually occur when people meet. Secondly, studying alone will keep you focused towards your schedule to complete the syllabus. These two reasons can be supported with an experience of my past. When I was preparing my 12th exams in a group, we often slipped into small talks that led to conversations. This used to waste some time of 2 to 3 hours and fail to complete the syllabus in time. Thus, I feel better to study alone over studying in a group.
Okay, I was getting a little worried. You stated those two ideas, right? But they were kind of generic. But then you said, I'm going to give an example to illustrate these 2 points, and that's what you did. So you supported your 2 assertions. I think that's good. However, you do have quite a few delivery problems that require some effort when I listen to what you're saying, and I think you have some language use issues too you want to be careful about. Okay, so when I look at the rubrics, my first impression right now is 3. I'm going to say 3 out of 4. I'm going to say 22 to 23 points out of 30. I think that's where you are. You have a very heavy non-native speaker accent. Notice how 3, it says here in the rubric, speech is generally clear with some fluidity of expression. It says, though minor difficulties with pronunciation, intonation, or pacing are noticeable and may require effort. I think that kind of describes how you speak right now. So you do need to work on your delivery or pronunciation. That's something that you can work on right now, and I think that'll have a very big impact on your score. Okay, let's listen to the response one more time.
I prefer to study alone than in a group while preparing for an exam. I can explain this with 2 reasons.
And I wouldn't say I can explain this for 2 reasons. Just say individual study is better for me, or individual study is better than group study for 2 reasons, right? So you don't really need those 2 separate sentences. The second sentence, it's pretty much empty. It doesn't do a lot to advance the argument you're trying to make. It takes up time, but it doesn't do much. Spend more time in the details, I think, would be more effective.
Firstly, studying alone will save time from small talks which usually occur when people meet.
Okay.
Secondly, studying alone will keep you focused to
It'll keep me focused, not you focused. So that's when you shift unexpectedly, you shift inadvertently, really, from that first person point of view that you started out with. I think that's what you want to stay with, and that consistency is going to make your speaking task cohere. It connects together better if you do
towards
that.
your schedule to complete the syllabus. These 2 reasons can be supported with an experience of my past. When I was preparing my 12th exams in a group, we often slipped in.
I like that leading. It's kind of like a forecast sentence. These 2 reasons will help support the examples these reasons I just mentioned. So you now kind of give your speech more direction, more focus. So now for me, I have to listen to what the 2 reasons are and see how well they support the assertions that you're trying to defend.
To small talks that led to conversations. This used to waste some time of 2 to 3 hours and fail to complete the syllabus in time. Thus, I feel better.
But you need to be more precise. You're still kind of talking in a generic sense, right? So you're saying that if you study in a group, you'll have more small talk and that'll distract you from your studies, right? So then you say, well, for example, 2 years ago I was preparing for a biology test, blah, 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 blah. Then you talk about that example to show how maybe studying in the group was not effective because of all the small talk. And that would illustrate the argument that you're trying to make.
To study alone over studying in a group.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to what I said before. I think I'm going to adjust it slightly. I'm going to say 21 to 22 points out of 30. I think with the topic development, you can probably get a little bit more specific in the examples that you provide. It says in the 3 usually lacks elaboration or specificity. I can say yes, I think that kind of describes what you're saying. And then you do have some minor difficulties with pronunciation, right? So work on the topic development. You need to work on your delivery a bit. Now, as you may or may not know, I actually have a TOEFL Speaking Bootcamp course. If you've already reached your subtotal scores in the reading, listening, and the writing sections, and the only thing you need to do now is improve your speaking, this is the course for you. Go over to onlinetoeflcourse.com and then kind of scroll down that web page and you will find the TOEFL Speaking Bootcamp course. You can join that course anytime you're ready to finish the TOEFL once and for all.